Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. In this month, by the end of this month, William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is going to pick the next independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission chairperson with the commissioners needed. And the person going to be picked, the president is interested in the 2027 general election as man who is the ultimate appointing authority. It goes without saying that he will decide who the next chair is. The 2027 election proving to be the most difficult for a sitting president since independence due to the emerging vote, the youth constituency. It is no doubt that someone would want a friendly referee. Now, when you follow the Dr. Makanda-led panel that is currently conducting interviews, you'll agree with me that that panel session, that interview, the interviews lack spark, they lack traction, they lack interest from the public, even though it is a very critical process. And when you talk about the transparency of elections in this country, the transparency of the 2027 general election starts right from the appointment of commissioners. When you look at that, you'll realize that the people seem to have been pulled out of that process. They feel that process is already rigged, or they're not just interested in elections anymore. I follow that session. The panel have long-winded questions, very trivial questions that don't seem to be helping to bring out the unique attributes of the candidates as to whether they qualify for that job. And it will not be wrong to say that the interviews led by Dr. Makanda is just part of a formality, while the team sitting in State House or even the president himself already knows who the next IEBC chair will be. And I can tell you, even before the shortlist, before even they arrived at a shortlist, this process is fully controlled by a multi-sectoral team working around the president, be it his political advisors, be it the government team, be it his team on elections from IEBC, be it the NIS. There is a multi-sectoral team that is managing the process, the procurement of a new IEBC chair. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos, and thank you very much for supporting our channel. Subscription is absolutely free, and we want to urge you to subscribe, because when you subscribe and you click the notification bell, you'll be getting updates whenever we publish any video. So those who've already been asking, Kevin, nowadays I don't see your videos, it's because you never clicked the notification bell. So subscribe. Subscription is absolutely free. There is nothing going to be deducted from your account because you subscribed to our channel. Both on the back end and front end of the channel, your details are secure, not even your email. No one can even access your email. Now, I am saying this process is being managed, purely being managed. And it is being managed because the outcome of this process is going to be very critical both to the political players and also on how to manage the expectation of voters. And I want you to look at this consistent pattern. When Nyachae appeared, when the shortlist emerged, and we saw the name of Nyachae there, personally, I think I did that analysis, and I did say, and I vouched for him. Why? Being someone who is strong, who has been in the political circle for some time, that position is not for the weak. That position needs someone who has been, is a dynasty from Kisii. Nyachae family is a dynasty family from Kisii. So I was really vouching for that, and being that he was also in CIC. But to understand, there was this trivial question that was asked on Nyachae.
Any knowledge of you being a state candidate?
A state candidate for this job? No. I'm not sure what a state candidate is, but I made this decision to run. You know, Mr. Chairman, when somebody talks about a state candidate, they are actually insulting this panel. You're the people who are going to decide who among the people that you have interviewed you are going to recommend to the appointing authority. So the idea of a state candidate is foreign to me.
Your last question.
The panel clearly set up Nyachae for public ridicule. And because he's the only person that is known there, if you look at that list, the only person that is known by members of public is Nyachae. And him being put there was actually a smokescreen. The candidate is asking, are you a state candidate? I find that question very rhetoric, and in fact, it's trivial. Let me say, any person in that list, any person that has been shortlisted there can be a state candidate. Any of them. So the question of framing that one person as the framed candidate is supposed to pacify the public. And let me show you something. This question is coming because of this photo. This is actually, understand, this photo was taken when Ruto met Nyachae back in 2020. That time William Ruto was campaigning and was heading in Nyamira for a campaign rally. So he met Nyachae. Even though if you check, you realize Nyachae never even attended that Nyamira rally. And this is in consistency. This photo back at that time. So there is a consistent public perception to single out Nyachae as Ruto project. And let me tell you, this is the trap that has been set up by the state players. So the mindset of voters is being made to believe that Nyachae is Ruto's candidate. So if the panel will pick any other person apart from Nyachae, then that person will not be Ruto's candidate. And I don't think that is it. We've singled it out, and now that makes the panel, they can pick any other candidate. They can even pick the weakest, the one that can be easily manipulated, the weakest of all. And so the public will be made to understand, look here, it is not Nyachae. So Nyachae was only Ruto's candidate. And in fact, the criteria of picking the next chair was not entirely based on who is Ruto's candidate, because the panel sitting cannot even know who is Ruto's candidate amongst the list they've named. They can't know. They can't know who is Ruto's candidate. One thing they will know is of the names they forward. They will forward names, and the whole thing has been designed that you only have to forward the name of so-and-so. And this is part of this. Let me look at this. Do you know a protest was even organized? People printing placards of Nyachae saying, we want a youth. when you look at this is well stage managed. Let me tell you, this is not done by some NGO, no. This is done by the state machinery involved. What to protest? Ask yourself, why did they single out Nyachae? There is Joy Midivo there, who is also a very strong supporter of President Ruto in the last 2022 general election. In fact, I think one of the sisters was actually deployed to, was even given a job in KPLC. So, this is, there is, Ushaiona ile, let me explain whatever is happening in this process by a very short story. There was a time in before I went to college, I used to hawk in Kisumu stage. And just saying it doesn't change anything. So when we were hawking, kulikuwa na that stage, there is watu wa hawkers, there is watu wa kubeba mzigo, and then there is the street children. So the street children will snatch a phone from one of the passengers and run away. So when they start running, those who will chase after the thief are fellow street children. So watakimbia wakimfuata. Then the thief will take some corner, and because the street children are the ones that were following immediately, they will negotiate another corner. So the whole team, when wanaenda, mutafuata, kumbe, they have been part of the team. They cannot arrest the thief because the thief is one of them. So the thief will take left, they will take right, and any other person will take life following that probably are still pursuing the thief. Kumbe wao, washa protect the person. Now this is what is happening here. What is happening here is this. The country is being made to believe if we pick Nyachae, then that is Ruto's candidate. So if we pick any other person, it doesn't matter. Come on! This is the state trap. Why pick that one person? There are some trivial questions, and I kept on finding it. Will you ever resign? I think, listen to a snippet from Joy Midivo interview.
There's only one place where we floundered. Now, the KIMS kits that we have got several capabilities. One of the capabilities it has is to transmit results. For some reason, we chose not to use that aspect and decided to have people come to Nairobi to verify the hard copies before we could transmit the result. Now, that process took so long that in that 5-6 days, it gave room for theories and other things to come forward. And what that does, it festers. So by the time things are coming to a boil, even if there's no spark, the spark appears. So keeping the process transparent, clear, honest, so that when people observe, they are satisfied with whatever results they get.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you,
Sante.
Joy, you are chair, and you are in Anniversary Towers. Now, this time is not Mungiki, but Kenyans besiege the place because of whatever decision that the commission has made, and you are in there for 3 days. Will you resign?
It depends. It depends. If I have worked in some hanky-panky that is obvious for people to see, then the honorable thing to do would actually be to resign. But there is a level to which where courage, push comes to shove, and now courage has to step up for you. So if I am doing what is needful to be done, if I'm doing what is needful as per my oath, because once I become chairman, I'm sure one of the things that will happen, I will take oath before I get into Anniversary Towers. So the terms of my oath, did I abide with that oath faithfully? If I did, and I know what is good for the country, I will stand my ground, because I'm one of those people who believes that God takes care of me. So the people baying for my blood, yes. But if I have been involved in something that is out of character or out of what I'm supposed to do.
Now, the IEBC selection process is designed to be low-key, without public traction, and managing expectations, with these trivial activities being done to achieve an objective. And that is what I need to explain. The first thing that the state wants to achieve, they want to demystify the interest of the public in an IEBC chairman position. Yes. They don't want the public to be so much interested on who is the IEBC chairman. For one reason, they will want to compare that with Chebukati. They will not want full scrutiny of who is the person especially at this time. The other second issue is, it is a public perception that is there. And this is something that works there. That, and I think this could be the intelligence objective, that they want to disassociate Ruto with the new chairman, the person who's going to be picked. So it must come out that Nyachae was Ruto's man. So if we don't pick Nyachae, then we've not picked Ruto's man. Let me give you a story. Yeah, when I was coming back from Kisumu, I was coming back to Nairobi where we were supporting Eunice. And when I came to Nairobi, I was actually, the person who was seated next to me apparently was one of our subscribers, a pastor. And he told me, Kevin, you guys have been doing analysis. But if there is an analysis that you cannot analyze and find the exact thing going on is IEBC. Why? He told me, and he was referring to the video I did. I think that video is in this channel. I did the video immediately that list was released. And was referring to that analysis, and he said, if there is a place that William Ruto will not do guesswork, is the new IEBC chairman. And he did tell me that the reason why Raila is being fattened, William Ruto is giving Raila half of his government, is to ensure that the new IEBC process selection faces less resistance from members of the public. Less resistance, Raila cannot question now. And in fact, now that candidate will be managed as a broad-based candidate. And he told me that, mark this, all those candidates, whoever is picked will be under state arm, will be under full surveillance and control of the president. Because looking at things, the president understands that while you manage politics, you must also manage the elections themselves. And not just the election, the process of being the election process. And on this one, he promised me, Kevin, you want to get it, you will analyze everything, but whoever's going to be picked is going to be Ruto's candidate. And I agree. There's no guesswork. Then the second issue why the multisectoral team is pushing it is they would want to push the young people away from the elections. There is something that is going on. The young people are really anxious about the next IEBC so that they can register, so that they can initiate the process of removing some of these representatives. So they will want the young people to get detached. I can tell you, don't expect rigorous campaigns on voting, on the need to register. Don't expect quite a big number of people to register as voters. It is not going to be that easy. Ruto would as well pick Nyachae to run a public narrative that election is ready. So this can also still come out. Na Nyachae ndiye anachukuliwa. Akishachukuliwa, and because the public perception has been created that Nyachae is a man who is going to work for William Ruto, people will not get interested in the next 2027 general election. And between now and 2027, tell it this with what Asudi said, vote zisipotosha wataongeza. These are all supposed to create a negative interest by the Kenyans to turn out and vote. Remember, if election is done and William Ruto loses that election by more than 60, the competitor wins by 60%, and I don't know who that competitors can be because I'm yet to see one, that competitor is going to be declared the winner. At what cost? That competitor is going to be declared the winner. So ladies and gentlemen, it will be interesting to look at that. But do you also agree with me that it has been low-key and the whole thing is being managed from elsewhere? Thank you.